Hello and welcome back to part 2 of rebuilding my wrecked BMW 435D. Now if you haven't watched the previous video, after fixing the first corner of the car, changing all the suspension, I then noticed this part of the car was completely out of whack. As you can see, the wheel here is completely tucked in. So what I'm going to do in this video is take the wheel off and see what is going on and try and fix the problem. So yeah, let's get straight into it. To start off, let's jack up the car and take this front wheel off and take a look at what's going on behind this wheel. Once I took the wheel off and had a look around, the wishbones and all the arms looked okay. After watching this clip back, it was pretty obvious what the problem was, which you'll see here in a second. The shock absorber has pushed straight through the steering knuckle, as you can see here. So what I need to do is take it all off and replace this part, and I think that should be good to go. As you can see here, this nut needed some persuasion, so I pulled out the big guns and got the breaker bar out, and this did the trick. Next, I'll be taking off the caliper bolts to take off the brake caliper and remove the brake disc. Now that the brakes are off, I will be removing the inner wishbone bolts on both of the arms. The first one is here, so I'll need to remove the guard to get access to the bolt, and the second one is on the opposite side, which is over here. But before I do that, let's take off the bolt for the outer track rod. I bought this cheap electric ratchet from Amazon. It's not very powerful, but I'm sure it will help me speed up things when trying to take these bolts off as when I did the other side it did take quite a while. I've now taken off everything I need in terms of what is attached to the car. The only thing left now is to take off the strut top mount bolts and get this whole assembly off the car. I have now taken the whole suspension leg off, and now we can take a closer look at this damage. As you can see, the whole shock absorber has pushed straight through and down into the steering knuckle. Yeah, that does not look good, does it? And you can see here some of the shock absorber fluid is leaking, so it's good to get this changed. So what I've done is purchased a used second-hand whole suspension. Luckily this is off the same car that I purchased the other side of, so it's a matching set now. Luckily the guy still had it available for sale, and you can see here how it should look and where it should be seated. Yeah, it's pushed quite a considerable amount through. So yeah, let's get this on the car. While we're working on this side of the car, I think it's a good time to address one of the smaller issues on this car. As you can see, one of the headlight bulbs is out and is flickering. So let's get this replaced. You can see this side is all good and this side is literally flickering on and off. So to do that, there's this little latch in the wheel arch. Pull that door off and you just twist this cap off, and there you have the headlight bulb assembly. So this is the old one which I've just taken off, and that is the new one which I've put in, and all you do is literally just twist. Now I'll show you how I've done it on the other side. You just twist it and pull it out, and it's as simple as that, plugging it straight in. And then you just connect the little connector back in, and then you're good to go. So let's see if that is working. Now this fixes the little headlight problem. I have already gone ahead and put all the car back together. Along with the used hub, I did put on all new wishbones just to keep it in line with the other side, so the whole front suspension is now new. And now this is what it looks like all put back together. As you can see, the wheel is now nice and straight. After taking the car around the block for a quick test drive, which was the first time I drove this car since buying it, I found this big problem. When driving, the car would stutter and I could not get any boost at all from the engine. When I plant my foot, absolutely nothing happens. It does drive, it does move, but there is no power whatsoever. And while I was driving, I got this drivetrain error message. So what I thought would be best is to give this car into a BMW specialist and have them check it out and find the problem. So that is what I've done. I've dropped the car off here to a company called Joe Darby on the outskirts of Birmingham. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part 3 where we find out what the problem is. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and leave a comment.